Oh, there you are. So we're done fitting the next big upgrade. All the test results look great. The only one left to check it out is you. So I look forward to seeing you try it out in the next session. You should be able to feel the difference. Hopefully, it lives up to expectations.
Well, look at that. A lovely, pleasant greeting from Chris to confirm the ultimate engine upgrade, the 13.85 brake horsepower, the turbo pressure upgrade, and a drag upgrade for our lovely little McLaren Honda is ready for the Italian Grand Prix. And I can't think of a better circuit on the calendar than a power upgrade and a drag upgrade to be ready for the Temple of Speed, the Italian Grand Prix. Welcome back, guys, to the F1 2017 Career Mode Season 2 with the Honda. We are back here, ready, willing to go. If you remember from Season 1, Italy is where we scored our first podium, and it was also the first race where the upgrades actually got applied to the car. As you can see there, we're pushing very hard in practice, sort of attacking the curbs, and man, the car feels incredible on low fuel. Just to be able to chuck it into the corners. I find it very sort of floaty on heavy fuel, and that's something that is apparent in this race as well as sort of later races. Just as a peek behind the curtain, I am ahead. I'm commentating this, but I've actually recorded up to Brazil, so I'm, a little bit ahead of time. Nonetheless, we're going to throw ourselves straight into qualifying here. We are going for our second lap, 3 minutes left of the session. And we're currently behind Ricciardo and ahead of Grosjean. So let's open up the DRS. 200 miles an hour already as we cross the line. There's 210, 211, 212. Can we hit 213 just as we hit the brakes as we come into the first chicane? Coming out there, we're already a 10th up with excellent drive as we head under the Pirelli banner as we go through Curva Grande, just keeping it flat. It's basically like a straight line. Sweeping it as well as we can, nearly just use all of the track available to us, and it's a purple first sector. We're 1.3 up on the faster time so far. We did go a little bit wide in the first part of the second chicane though, so Degner 1, we're going to brake, Degner Lesmo 1, sorry, that's where I'm referring to Japan just there. Take that nice and easy. Lesmo 2, brake at the 100 metre ball, got it in all nice, ride the curb, not too much on the exit, get the DRS open, 2.5 tenths up on our personal best time. However, we now charge towards Ascari, building up to, again, to 10 miles an hour as we clip the inside curb. Don't really run out too far out because then we have to bring it back in. Took too much curb on the final bit of Ascari there. Unsettled the car onto the back straight, and we're once again just building up to maximum speed, 200 miles an hour as we come towards Parabolica, 208 as we hit the brakes at around 70 metres. Kiss the inside apex, let the car run out wide. A little bit, I let it run too far to hamper the drive. We could have been nearly 4 tenths up. We're going to come across the line. It's over a 3.5 tenth improvement. It puts us P4. What a lap of Monza in the Italian Grand Prix, and by the time that is over, it's actually P5, and for once we've out-qualified Fernando, which is rare, and we've out-qualified him by a solid half a second. You can see they were ahead of the Force Indias, ahead of the Red Bulls, ahead of a lot of the Mercedes-powered car. We're not even best of the rest, we're fifth. You see me scrolling down sort of the rest of the order there, but it's now on to race day and what strategy we are going to have for this race. It's going to be a one-stop strategy, as I feel as if that's the one that brings us the most results. I don't really see a two-stop working too much around Italy, so it's a matter of stretching out the super softs as far as we can and then jumping on to a set of mediums in the late stages of the Grand Prix, and it's about seeing who we can contend with. Can we get past the Ferraris, spoil their party at their home Grand Prix, and can we compete with the Mercedes? It's like I said though, the car on heavy fuel is feeling a bit weird right now. I don't know whether I've sort of made an adjustment to my driving style, because I don't remember that being a problem in Season 1, but of course there was an update between Season 1 and 2, or roughly whenever the update was, to actually sort of like affect the cars. I know the McLaren's chassis got sort of a nerf, but its aerodynamics got a bit of a buff to sort of reflect the actual sort of, real life standings and how the car's controlled. So that's something I'm going to hopefully address. But I'm mentioning that now. I might bring that up in later commentaries because, it's something that I did notice as the races were going on. But here we go. Temple of Speed. Hamilton on pole. Bottas second. Raikkonen third. Vettel fourth. We line up in fifth with the Force Indias just behind the first corner, first chicane, scene of many a historic crash at the Italian Grand Prix. Can we try and avoid that today as we build? 5 lights. Lights are out and away we go for the Italian Grand Prix. They were on for a long old time. Vettel didn't get a good first phase of the start. We're in Kimi's slipstream. What can we do? Vettel comes across. We're not able to go between the cars. Perez has sent one down for a dive bomb into turn 1. He's made collision with one of the Ferraris. Raikkonen's gone out wide. He's caught us. We have to go opposite lock. Out of the first chicane, we're ahead of Kimi. The Force India of Perez has got a lovely couple of positions. We go side by side with Kimi through Curva Grande as we charge towards the second chicane. Perez up to 4th. We're retained in 5th. Raikkonen down to 6th. Vettel is up to 2nd. Past Valtteri Bottas. Hamilton, the only one apparently with a clean run through the first chicane, has already disappeared off into the distance. And now it's about, can we hang with the cars ahead? Look at the dirty air off the back of the Force India, just dragging my car wide through the first Lesmo. Now through the second one. Now we have to try and see if we can stick with the cars ahead as we come to the end of lap 1. Bottas all over Sebastian Vettel. Perez sitting there in 4th, and we are just clinging on to a little bit of slipstream in 5th. Hamilton, of course, crosses the line first. Alonso has dropped down. He's not had a good start. Is Kimi in our slipstream? He is, but what's going to happen with the cars ahead of us? Side by side are the Ferrari and the Mercedes. Perez is going to be looking to try and make a move. We brake slowly. Vettel's gone wide. Oh, we got all opportunist. Perez left the door open in the second part of the chicane. We dived it right down the inside. Raikkonen's taken advantage of that as well, and he's now up into 5th place, or was, as he was dueling with Sergio Perez. Perez down to 5th. Bottas up to 2nd. Vettel 3rd. We are up to 4th, but now we are in 1 second, of course, DRS, available on lap 3, and we are right up behind Vettel. Bottas hasn't been able to get away. Hamilton streaking off into the lead. We are saving fuel quite nicely. I'm I was in the process trying to burn it in the early stages, especially in the final sector and the first sector, and then try and save some in the middle. But here we go through Parabolica. You can see once again the dirty air off the back of the Ferrari, just not allowing me to turn the front end in, but we are just on the back of the slipstream. Vettel's going to be gaining. DRS is going to be open once again as we charge towards the first chicane. We are lining up Vettel. Bottas goes defensive. Vettel dives towards the outside. We brake at 150 metres. They're going to be so close. We're going to try and hold it round the outside. Bottas sort of squeezes us a little bit. Vettel's gone too wide on the exit. He's got the better run. Bottas back down to 3rd, and he is now susceptible to an attack from us. We're going to try and go round the outside of Curva Grande. We're past Valtteri Bottas, and we have to lift to stop us going into the back of the Ferrari. Vettel moves across, leaves the door open down the inside, and that's us up from 4th to 2nd of the Italian Grand Prix. And like I said, now Hamilton has disappeared off into the distance. We, of course, a horrible run through the first Lesmo. That is the one corner on this circuit I just can't seem to get the turning point right. But like I say, Hamilton has sort of disappeared, so it is now the battle for 2nd place in this Grand Prix. Vettel still right behind us there. Of course, that Ferrari is going to have a lot of grunt. We've run horribly wide through Ascari. We had to take to the runoff area, and Vettel is now, that's allowed him to be in the slipstream, heading down towards Parabolica. He feints to the right, goes to the, feints to the left, goes to the right, and get my eyes all mixed up. Vettel down the inside of lap 5, and he's taken 2nd place from us through Parabolica. He runs it out wide though. Kimi is now looking to be directly in our slipstream as we charge back down the main straight. We pull across to the right hand side. Kimi looking to pounce as we go down the inside. Vettel has the DRS, we don't, and we're able to still pull ahead into the first chicane. That speaks volumes for the straight line speed of the McLaren Honda, and Vettel has been pushed out wide. Kimi is able to pull up into 2nd place. Kimi tries round the outside of Curva Grande. Can he try and get the move done? We're more on the racing line. We push Kimi out wide. Is he going to be able to do anything? He try and pulls back into our slipstream. He's not going to try and attack us into the 2nd chicane, and we've successfully defended 2nd place. Well, rather, we lost it and then regained it and defended it as we go on to lap 6 there. Battling the Ferraris hard. Alonso is clawing his way actually back up through the field, which is good to see. By lap 8, we are causing a little bit of a train. It's not as if I actually had a lot of outright pace. You can see now we've actually tapped the gravel just there. These super soft tyres definitely getting to the end of their life. That's actually going to allow Bottas to have a very good run on us as we go down towards Ascari. He's on the outside. as we charge ahead. He's gone over 200 miles an hour into the braking zone of Ascari. We get pinched, a little bit of contact between the tyres, and we've just about kept the car out of the wall. But that's allowed Raikkonen and Vettel through, and in one corner we've dropped from second down to fifth. We bump it up to Rich though. Vettel, he's not going to get away from us. We are now looking at the outside of Parabolica, one of the Force Indias of Sergio Perez trying to get involved. We hold it round the outside of Sebastian Vettel, just about to understeer off to the runoff, and we've kept it. And now Perez, is he going to try and have a go into turn one? We've got DRS as well, seeing as we were behind the Ferrari, and I don't think Perez is going to be able to make the move, but we have unfortunately dropped from the podium position that we were in as we hit way too much curb on entry there. And you heard it at the start of the lap there. The pit window is now open. Bottas and Raikkonen have managed to pull away from me a little bit. We're coming in this lap to fit new tyres. Bottas, being released from us, certainly got the pace with that 1 minute 24.4. So, I mean, we're not too slow. And a lot of the cars from behind have dived in as well. There's Perez, one of the Red Bulls is in. Looks as if all these cars are going to be swapping over to medium tyres. So on a very similar strategy to ourselves there. 2.1 from the McLaren boys is an excellent pit stop. And we're going to pull out with quite a bit of space to the cars behind us. And how long is the pit lane? 23.7. Kvyat goes past us just there. Marcus Ericsson's going to get through. Nearly comes into collision with us. I'm not too sure why he was so far across on the circuit. That's definitely a bit of a weird one for Ericsson to be across there, considering, I mean, I don't know if he was trying to get any kind of toe off of us, but it is whatever. We need to dispatch the Sauber sooner rather than later, because of course we need to try and build as big of a gap as Perez. Look at the speed, the closing speed, as we gain on the Sauber, which is the additional speed of the major upgrade and the slipstream. Of course, aero, fairly skinny in Italy. I believe I was running 3.3 wings to make the McLaren as slippery as possible, because, you know, even though we've got the major power upgrade, that only really puts us on par with certain other cars. We now come across the line as to start lap 11. Their line is up into 8th place. One of the cars coming out the pits quite a ways ahead of us. That is the Ferrari of Kimi Räikkönen there. We've braked far too late into turn 1 as well. But Kimi, that additional lap doesn't appear to have cost him anything. Vettel is back in the pack. He's had a horrible run by the looks of things on his out laps. And here we go. Alonso just coming out the pits, as well as someone else. And there's a safety car, Nico Hülkenberg, retiring from the race. I didn't quite catch why the safety car, or sort of what caused Hülkenberg to retire there. But Pascal Wehrlein, 11 laps in, still up in 6th place. What a drive from Pascal. You can see now the running order is the two Mercedes. Hamilton has been closed up to Valtteri Bottas. Then we've got Kimi Räikkönen and myself. This is after all the pit stops taken place. So, you know, Pascal Wehrlein had to, you know, come down from the position of dreams that he was in. The safety car has allowed us to save a bit of fuel. So if we're going to make any kind of run to try and get up the field, it is now, because as our tyres were wearing out, the guys ahead were able to pull a big old gap. Hamilton appears to be nigh on untouchable this weekend. So here we go, resuming racing. Raikkonen's caught me napping a little bit. I was on the wrong line to get the power down. Let's see if we can get any kind of slipstream on this opening part of the lap 15 as the safety car has been released. We spend so long on the rev limiter. Bottas is going to have a go into turn 1 at Lewis Hamilton. It's the first time we've seen him all race. We're going to just squeeze it out the inside of Raikkonen, who's pushed out wide in the first part of the chicane. On the second part, he gets the better exit. Bottas pulls into the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. Raikkonen is susceptible. We're pulling to the slipstream of Curva Grande. The Mercedes side by side up ahead of us. We're pulling out on Raikkonen. Is he going to defend? He goes to the inside, goes back to the racing line, leaves the door open. Thank you very much, Kimi. We're going to just about get it slowed down. And Valtteri Bottas sees the opportunity, has pounced on it, and is up into first place. We've run wide and unfortunately let Raikkonen straight back through. That was so frustrating that actually happened. You know, once again, Lesmo won one of my absolute weakest corner on the circuit. But we're going to pull back into the slipstream of Kimi. Are we going to be able to do anything? He hasn't got away from us just yet. If we're able to sort of keep in contact with him, we might be able to do something. We've had a horrible run through Ascari, but we should still get a boost from the slipstream off the back of Raikkonen. Once again, the Mercedes have just disappeared into the distance. Their car just proving to be the absolute number one this weekend. Once again, just horrible dirty air And I think Kimi might now just have the legs on us unless we're able to do anything special into turn 1. I don't think we will. Raikkonen's just got far too much room on us there. We're not going to be able to sort of try anything from this far back. We could try a dive bomb, but no, Kimi just too far ahead. I like to think I'm fairly strong on the brakes, but that would have been more than Daniel Ricciardo-esque. That would have been suicidal. There's no way I would have got that slowed down. And you can see now on the end of lap 17, the cars ahead have pulled ahead. Hamilton with a 1:23.2, much faster than anything else is able to do. I'm in the 26s, you know, Hamilton pulling out over 2 seconds from me, and Sebastian Vettel, his horrible race continues by retiring from the race, but that has caused a second safety car, so that's now going to rebunch the field up. That's going to give us another opportunity to have a run. But as we came round to the end of the lap, had a bit of a brainwave, and I'm going to roll the dice. I don't see me overtaking the cars ahead on the current strategy, because if I don't get past them under the safety car or just after the safety car, it's a bit of a lost cause. So, rolling the dice, we're going to make a pit stop in the pit lane, super soft tyres. We're going to drop to last, and after the safety car, we're going to get maybe 6 laps of racing. So, what's the harm? It's either pretty much 4th place for this race. You know, we could slip back in case we, you know, have any kind of issues in defending, or we could roll the dice and be much faster than anyone else on 2 compound softer of tyres. I mean, let's see. You never know unless you take these risks. So here we go, lap 20. We're going to get 7 laps of racing. We just about made it to the back of the pack. We caught them sort of midway around lap 20. And here we go. It's P18, currently last place in the Italian Grand Prix. We're going to go racing for 7 laps. What can we do? That's the big question, as I'm waiting. I was chomping at the bit. Put it up into Rich to resume the overtaking. I've dropped back a little bit. Everyone drops the throttle. Here we go. Get the nose in. Out of Parabolica, Marcus Ericsson. I mean, I've drifted out wide, so that affected my exit bit, but Ericsson's not going to be any match for us in a straight line. Immediately pull down the inside of him. We're going to have him before we get to the first corner. Now, Wehrlein and Magnussen are next. What can we do? We're going to jump on the brakes nice and late. That's exactly what we're going to do. Triple overtake into turn 1. That is us immediately up into 15th place, and this is what we need to do. We need to utilise the extra grip of the fresh super soft tyres and everyone else on their worn mediums. So, Danny Kvyat is up next. Here's our next victim in this run. We are a long way back. Is there anything we can do into the second chicane? Answer, no. But we're so much more confident on the brakes. Look at the run we get out of the second chicane. Kvyat has to basically brake check us to be able to keep us behind, and he's then run wide into Lesmo, and that's us up into 14th place down the inside. Next up is Jolyon Palmer of the Renault, and by the end of the lap we're right back on his tail. He's of course battling Lance Stroll of Williams, and that's going to be us in the slipstream of these 2 cars. A double helping of tow. Thank you very much. We're doing 200 miles an hour across the line. Pull to the inside. Stroll has got Palmer, who's coming across. Oh, Stroll squeezes. Palmer was looking for space. We're just about going to get it slowed down. Palmer was looking for a way to overtake. Stroll was looking to squeeze him. Ended up squeezing me nearly onto the grass. But that's us up into 12th place. 5 laps remaining if you include the one we're on. And points are just on the horizon because the field of cars is very squished together. Next up, Carlos Sainz in the Toro Rosso Renault. He is not going to be that quick in a straight line. We, of course, with our new power, are going to be quite quick in the slipstream. No DRS on this back straight, but that is going to be a pass into Parabolica. And who thought you would see an overtaking montage from a McLaren Honda around Italy? That is the power of the Season 2 Mc Honda. Here we go. Now we've got DRS. 1:24.0, a personal best lap of the Grand Prix for us. Next up, Max Verstappen in the Renault. Look at how slow everyone's going through turn 1. There's Alonso's in the mix there in 6th. That's a Williams of Massa in 5th. Ricciardo's in there. Ocon and Grosjean. Then, of course, Verstappen in 10th. We've got Rich Mix and Slipstream going through Curva Grande. Can we make a dive bomb into the second chicane? My answer is yes. Straight past the Renault. Oh, sorry, the Renault-powered Red Bull of Max Verstappen, and now we're going to be lining up Romain Grosjean, which I think is what we're exactly going to do. Not through the Lesmos, but we're going to try and get the best run possible to allow us some DRS out of Lesmo 2 and up towards Ascari. If we can't get it done into Ascari, that will then line us up nicely for the run down towards Parabolica. We're going to keep it in standard, not try and use too much additional fuel. Can we get close enough? Answer, no, but we're going to use the extra grip of the tyres, although we have slid a little bit wide, took a lot of curb, but we drop into the slipstream of Romain Grosjean, and that's going to be a bit of rich mix now, flowing down the inside, nice and late on the brakes, send it wide, get the best run possible. That then opens us up for a run into turn 1. We're already in 9th. Esteban Ocon is in 8th place. He looks to be our next victim as we build slipstream, DRS, rich mix. It's all a recipe for 215 miles an hour into turn 1. Double overtake on the Haas as well as the Red Bull, and that now puts us in striking distance of Fernando Alonso, who is on the soft tyre. I'm not too sure what strategy Fernando is running. Clearly a different one to literally everyone, but Alonso is up behind Felipe Massa in the Williams, and now we're coming out the Parabolica. Can we look to make another double overtake? It's going to be tight towards turn 1 as we're in the slipstream of the McLaren Honda of Alonso. He's looking to try and get around Massa. Oh, he goes out wide. We're squeezed. We're on the grass nearly going towards the first chicane. Just about get this slowed down. The second part makes it clumsy and awkward, but that pulls ahead. And Alonso's actually got a hell of a run coming out of that chicane. Is he going to try and have a look at me? I think we're just about going to drop him a little bit coming out there, but 3 laps remaining in this Grand Prix, and we have used a lot of the additional life in these super soft tyres, but we have come through the field 18th to 5th in basically 5 laps, but Perez just got a little bit too much on us as we cross the line for one final time to get onto the final lap of the race. Perez is 2.4 seconds ahead of us, and I gave it absolutely everything I had on the final lap. You can see how much I've sort of pulled out on Fernando just there, but unfortunately wasn't able to catch Perez. Hamilton ends up winning the Grand Prix. Perez will get 4th, but we come home in 5th place.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
So as I say that, we can see the drivers coming out now to collect their trophies. It's yet more silverware to take back to their base in Brackley after another excellent Grand Prix.
So Hamilton ends up winning the race with Bottas 2nd and Raikkonen in 3rd. Perez with a good run up to 4th. We come home 5th after trying something, rolling the dice. Didn't really work out. Alonso coming from 20th. I thought he qualified higher than that, but I don't know if he maybe had an engine penalty. And then Ricciardo, Massa, Ocon and Grosjean make up the rest of the top 10, with Vettel and Hulkenberg being the retirees. For the championship, Hamilton is 106 points in the lead. I don't really see us catching him. We've only got Bottas 5 points behind us, and then 3 points behind him is Kimi Raikkonen. So the battle for 2nd is mighty interesting going into this tail end of the season. And of course, constructors-wise, we are solidified in 3rd almost. We've got a big old gap to Ferrari ahead of us, but a big old gap to Red Bull just behind us. Guys, that has been the Italian Grand Prix of Season 2. Hope you have enjoyed. It's one of those ones where I finally rolled the dice to see if it'd work out, and it didn't on this occasion, but nice to see that we tried. Leave a like if you enjoyed, comment your feedback down below, and remember to subscribe for future updates. I will see you all next time.